winds, and it's only 14 degrees in Detroit, 12 degrees right now in Green Bay, Wisconsin, 24 in Chicago, 22 degrees in New York City, 5 degrees below zero in Burlington, Vermont. Now that's what the thermometer reads, but when you factor in those strong northwest winds, and it feels like 38 degrees below zero in Burlington. So this is where we have the bitterly cold air, and that's over northern and central New England, 28 degrees below zero in Albany. There you see Burlington, 10 degrees below zero in New York City as those winds blow out of the northwest. So make sure that you bundle up today if you're heading out. Dress in layered clothing. That will keep you warmest. Stay with us.
A new Alberta Clipper will be bringing new snow to some already snow-covered states. Coming up on the Weather Channel, we'll show you the Clipper's probable path.
You can always turn to for accurate weather forecasts at your convenience 24 hours a day.
Good morning. It's 30 minutes after the hour. Thanks for joining us on the Weather Channel. I'm Vivian Brown, and we will check the current weather scene for you and detail the forecast for this Super Bowl weekend. Let's get started with the satellite picture as we immediately show you three systems that we're watching. Three batches of clouds representative of the area of low pressure that's pulling the moisture across southern Texas. We've seen some light rain showers now around McAllen, Texas. The next system bringing wet weather in the Pacific Northwest, mainly along the coast with very windy conditions. Winds gusting to about 44 miles per hour this morning in Tacoma, Washington, with light rain in Tacoma, light rain in Seattle with wind gusting at 30 miles per hour. So it's very, very blustery over the Pacific Northwest coast this morning. The next system, notice these clouds as they cross over the Ohio Valley. They are associated with an area of low pressure. Mainly we call it an Alberta Clipper as it clips its way through the Ohio Valley, originated in Alberta, Canada, and as it moves quickly through the Ohio Valley and the Northeast, we'll find widespread light snow and a narrow band of heavier snow. We'll tell you exactly where in a couple of minutes. National radar shows the batch of moisture here. Again, all of this is snow as it moves over northern Illinois and Indiana into Ohio. Still finding some snow this morning in Chicago and Rockford and Peoria, Illinois, even around South Bend, Indiana, moving into Toledo, Ohio. Across southern lower Michigan around Battle Creek, we have some light snow, and Kalamazoo reporting snow as well as it all moves east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. A look at it on the surface, there it is, and we've seen widespread light snow as it moved through the Dakotas over parts of North Dakota and South Dakota, even dumped off an inch in Minneapolis. Again, we will continue to follow this low pressure system as it moves into the Ohio Valley, and this may be the system that will provide New York City with light snow. Now the southeast looking good. We'll find high pressure here today with lots of sunshine. Afternoon highs in the 50s and 60s. Wet crossing over southern Texas, and more unsettled weather for the Pacific Northwest. It is 52 degrees this morning in Seattle with light rain and very windy conditions. San Francisco 45, LA it's about 49, but notice the brunt of the very, very cold air we're finding over the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast. But when you factor in the winds, it feels even colder out there. It feels like 38 degrees below zero in Burlington, Vermont. Even New York City with a wind chill of 10 degrees below. So you want to dress appropriately. Make sure you put on layered clothing. That will keep you warmest. That will maintain some of the body heat. So bear that in mind across northern New England. Now here's the midday hour. Notice the low moving across the lower Ohio Valley, and then late this afternoon spreading the snow into central New York, central Pennsylvania. Snow advisories in effect for the mountains of North Carolina. To the south, though, we think we may find a few light rain showers with temperatures a little bit warmer here in South Carolina. Again, the rest of the southeast looking good, and there you see southern Texas with a little bit of moisture, and the unsettled weather continues out west with freezing levels lowering to about 4,000 and 5,000 feet for the Cascades of Washington and across the northern Rockies. Here's a look at some of the snow we've seen so far as that system moved across the Dakotas. Now Williston picked up 4 inches, and even Bismarck with 2 inches of snow, and the forecast takes it right through central central and northern Ohio and the southern portions of Pennsylvania. That's the way it stands right now. Now, if that area of low pressure moves a little farther north, of course, the line of heavier snow will be farther north. If it moves a little farther south, the line of heavier snow will be south. But we will continue to watch it very, very closely as we go through the next 24 hours. Coldest afternoon highs we'll find here, of course, as teens and 20s are in the forecast. To the south, look at the widespread 50s and 60s. It'll be warm again today in Southern California and Arizona, as we will find more 70s. Let's check on the rest of your weekend. This Super Bowl weekend is sponsored by Provision. This and other frame styles are available at Provision Center and Pearl Express. The jet stream, as we carve out the area of low pressure here, or the trough, that's why those systems are following this particular trajectory as they move right on out into the Atlantic. The next system will provide rain across southern Texas, and eventually, maybe by Wednesday, some of that moisture will move into the southern Atlantic coast. Here's a look at the immediate forecast. Now, afternoon highs today we've seen already, and as we take you through tomorrow, gets a little bit warmer actually over northern New England and mild for the rest of the country as we go through Monday. Here's a system moving through the Ohio Valley, quickly moves off the coast Sunday, only to be replaced by another Clipper that also moves quickly to the southeast, and the unsettled weather continues out west. That's the national scene. Stay with us. We'll get specific for you and detail 18 big cities with our weekend travel forecast coming up next.
And seasonal warmth is being pushed out by a more seasonal cool down. We'll show you the temperature ranges for this weekend coming up on the Weather Channel.
As promised, we've selected 18 big cities and made their forecasts. We've also arranged them in alphabetical order. So then we'll start with Atlanta.
Look at the current map. Here's Vivian.
Well, thanks, Bill. We'll check on this morning's weather, beginning with the temperatures this hour over the lower 48. Not bad out west to Seattle. It's already 52 degrees, but we have light rain in Seattle, so bear that in mind. It's very windy, too. Winds gusting to about 30 miles per hour. Have a system just offshore, and those winds are really, really howling. Temperatures to the south in the 40s. L.A. topped out at about 85 degrees yesterday for a record high weak Santa Ana winds. It is 49 this hour in L.A. Temperatures across the Great Lakes and the Northeast are coldest, 5 degrees below zero in Burlington, Vermont. But when you factor in cold, stiff northwest winds, it feels like 38 degrees below zero in Burlington. Now, is that cold? Or is that cold? 28 below in Albany. So please bundle up, dress appropriately if you have to stay outside for any prolonged period of time. Here's a look at the current analysis. That's why we have the very windy conditions here, because we have an area of low pressure that's well out into the Atlantic, and winds just rolling around that low pressure system in a counterclockwise fashion. This low pressure system is the one that will cross over the lower Ohio Valley and provide widespread light snow, even a narrow band of heavier snow, we think, from the northern and central portions of Illinois, Indiana, straight through Ohio, crossing over southern Pennsylvania, to maybe around to New York City. You can find an inch of snow or so before all said and done. The southeast, well, high pressure is your controlling feature, and we'll find sunshine today with afternoon highs in the 50s, even 60s over parts of Texas and southern Louisiana. A little bit of rain may develop in southern Texas. We've seen light rain so far this morning in McAllen. More unsettled weather with valley rain, high elevation snow out west, so just get ready for the damp and dreary conditions and the overcast skies as we go through the next 24 hours for the Pacific Northwest. This low pressure system moves off the coast tomorrow morning, but as we go through the nighttime hours, we may find snow developing in New York City, and then the next system bringing additional snow, following basically the same path as its predecessor. This one, there you see the snowfall potential heaviest, where we've outlined the darker green shading, purple shading. Afternoon highs today shaping up.
Cold, snowy weather is causing highway hotspots. We'll show you where travel can be a problem coming up on the Weather Channel.
Good morning. morning, 3 before 9, checking the tri-state conditions. A look at the almanac. Tell you what we can normally expect this time of year. About 38 and 25 respectively. Record afternoon highs and morning lows. Back in 1967, we had a record high of 60 degrees, and in 1945, a record low of 2. Now, we've seen no precipitation over the last 24 hours with clear skies right now at Central Park. The pressure is rising from 30.15 inches. Winds out of the northwest at 29 miles per hour. Relative humidity 42%. The current temperature, it's 22 degrees, but when you factor in the winds, it feels a lot colder over a good part of New England this morning. 23 degrees right now at the John F. Kennedy Airport, 22 at Newark, New Jersey, 21 at Teterboro, 18 at White Plains. Checking in with the 20 for Bridgeport, Connecticut, New Haven, and Islip, 22 at West Hampton, and Newburgh checking in with 16 right now. We do have clear skies for the tri-state area, but clouds are getting a little bit thicker in western Ohio and the lower peninsula of Michigan, as these clouds are associated with a little area of low pressure. It's mostly termed an Alberta Clipper, as this area of low pressure originated in Alberta, Canada, and that means the cold air coming down with it and some of the moisture. So then that is falling in the form of snow. We'll watch for widespread snow to filter throughout this area, and as it moves through Ohio and Pennsylvania, we will watch for the swathing of light snow and even a narrow band of heavier snow embedded. Now, there's a chance of snow tonight for the New York City area and the tri-state region as this low pressure system moves through. Now, notice early tomorrow morning it will be off the coast, but we will still find lingering snow showers for the tri-state region. We'll keep our eyes on this low pressure system very closely as it is moving quickly as we go through the next 24 hours. Afternoon highs today now running about 5 to 10 degrees below normal. 27 at Midtown or Manhattan, 25 for Clifton and Edison. This afternoon, Stanford should top out at about 24, 25 at Brentwood, 26 at Southampton, West Point 23. The same in Sussex and Washington, with morning lows shaping up like this. Now, keep in mind, morning lows in the teens, and this is when we will watch those snow showers develop tonight and lingering early tomorrow morning. 15 tomorrow at Edison, 18 in Manhattan, 16 at Brentwood, and about 12 in Stanford. Lingering showers tomorrow, but then the next system will pretty much follow the same path as its predecessor. Therefore, there's a chance for more snow come Monday. Tuesday, looking better. We'll find partly sunny conditions, but it remains kind of cool. We'll have problems with influenza over New York and a good part of New England and near Washington and Oregon and even over Idaho and even Alaska. We have reports of widespread outbreaks of the flu. Now, the states shaded in orange representative of regional outbreaks of the flu. The only state that's not concerned with influenza is Nebraska, or should I say Nevada. Here's a look at the pain indices above normal over the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, and the Pacific Northwest. So if you ordinarily have problems, say with arthritis or rheumatism, you'll find those problems a little bit accentuated today, and the states are shaded in orange. And that's where respiratory distress remains above normal, too, with very, very windy conditions over northern New England. Just maybe too windy and take your breath away here, and kind of windy off the Pacific Northwest coast, too, with winds gusting to some 35 miles per hour in Seattle.
24 hours a day.
Good morning. Checking the current weather across the lower 48. 3 systems we're watching, and you can clearly identify them. One over Texas, the next one over the Pacific Northwest, and this fast-moving system through the Ohio Valley. Now, this one will produce mostly snow as it moves through. We anticipate rain out of this one, but a whole lot of winds out of this one, as winds this morning gusting along the coast of Washington and Oregon to some 20, 25, and 30 miles per hour. Wind gusting of about 25 miles per hour as we speak in Seattle, and we'll have a little bit of rain along the Olympic Peninsula and along the coast of Oregon. So keep the umbrellas handy and make sure that you have a heavy-duty umbrella because of the very windy conditions in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, this one, we've watched the widespread snow over the last 24 hours over the Dakotas into Minnesota, and this morning it's bringing the snow over parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana. We still have snow advisories in effect for parts of Iowa and Wisconsin. Chicago is reporting the snow right now, as is Moline and Peoria, Aurora, Illinois, through South Bend, Indiana, Indianapolis, still some light snow. Snow through parts of Ohio, now working into the extreme western portions of Pennsylvania, around Erie, and even Jamestown, New York, reporting light snow, as it's all moving east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Here's the center of the low in the eastern portions of Iowa.